has one value will validate that you select only one filter, whereas this selected value will simply display you how many selections you have selected, whether these are multiple or whether these are single. Imagine that you're sitting in an interview and interviewer has asked you a very simple question. This is a table, this has got year, month and total sales, and we are able to filter this data using the product category. Okay, interviewer has asked you a very simple requirement. I need a header that should show the selected category. If I'm selecting electronics, it should reflect here. If I'm selecting furniture, it should reflect here. If I select multiple categories, then it should reflect that multiple categories selected. That is a requirement. How will you answer this? Very simple. There is a function in DAX which is called as selected value. We will use that. So for that, first of all, I need this card visual. So I'll drag this. Then I need to create a new measure. Let us call this measure as selection. Then I will make use of the function which we were talking about, that is selected value. So selected value function I'm using. Column name. So what is the column name? So column name is basically the column using which we will be filtering the data. So we know we will be filtering basis the category. Okay, this is nothing but a category, right? So I'll select category. So if I select the category, it will reflect here. But if I'm selecting more than one category, for that scenario we need alternate result, and alternate result is that multiple categories. Okay, so I'll say multiple categories. Let us close this, enter this. So as you can see, based on my selection, the categories are reflecting there. And if I select multiple categories, then it shows multiple categories. Now let's say before this electronics you want to put a small custom message. That is also possible. All you need to do is, before this function, just write down the selected value and then just connect with this function using ampersand. That will do the concatenation job. Now if I hit the enter, and now we can see selected value is electronics, furniture, and if I select multiple values, then it shows selected value multiple categories. It is so simple. So now the interviewer knows that you know selected value function, but now he wants to check, do you really understand has one value function? So for that scenario also, again interviewer has one more question. The question is, you need to find the profit margin for every single row in this table. But the condition is, if the user selects only one category, then only profit margin should reflect. If user selects more than one category, then it should reflect that please select one category. That is a requirement. Now how will you do that? To fulfill this requirement, you need the function in DAX which is called as has one value. How to do that? Let us see. But before we start, let us quickly understand what is profit margin. So let us say you are in the sales table. You can see these two columns are there. This is profit and this is sales amount. So let's say you have sold a product for 100 rupees and the profit is 20. So in that case, your profit margin is 20 upon 100. That is 20% is your profit margin. So basically, profit will be in the numerator and sales amount will be at the denominator. That will give you the profit margin. So I'm not here to teach you 5th standard mathematics. I hope you understood. We need to create a new measure. Let us call this new measure as profit margin. Now in order to fulfill this requirement, we need to make use of if function. Within the if, we need to put a test, and the test is that has one value for the product category. So I will say product category, and if the product category selected is 1, in that case we need to find the profit margin. So how do we find that? We need to make use of divide function. As I told you, in the numerator we will see the sum of profit. So for profit we have the sum, and then we will make use of this profit column. All right, so that becomes our numerator. For denominator we already have this total sales measure, so we can directly make use of the total sales, because we know total sales we are using sales amount only. As we can see, this has sales amount only. Okay, total sales. So again we'll go here, and we have already used this total sales. So if the selection is 1, that is if the condition is true, then we will get the profit margin. That is fine. But what if the result is false? But if the user selects more than one category, that is for the false condition, we have this small message that select one category only. Okay, and then we will see how does the output look like. So I have done this. Let us drag this profit margin in the same table and let us see what happens. So Currently we can see more than one category, so it says select one category. Let's say I select only one category, then I'm getting this profit margin, but I need to show this in the form of percentage. So what I will do is I'll select this and I'll use this percent symbol, and now we are getting the profit margin for every single row. Okay, and we can see for each month, for every year, we are getting this. Let's say you want to see this for only the years and not for the months. In that case, you can just remove this month, and for year wise also we are getting the profit. For electronics, what is the profit margin? For furniture, what is it? And as we can see, for stationery we have the maximum profit margin. So this is how we can make use of has one value. So after learning all of this, what is the difference between has one value and selected value? The difference in one line is has one value will validate that you select only one filter, whereas this selected value will simply display you how many selections you have selected, whether these are multiple or whether these are single. So this is the difference between these two functions. Make sure that you practice, otherwise watching these videos honestly just a waste of time if you are not practicing. Okay, I hope this is helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.